My name's Michael McDaniel, and I need help from just one member of Congress. I need you to introduce a piece of legislation that I've written called the Bone Spurs Act. This would require a draft, but it only applies to the children and grandchildren of members of Congress, the executive and judicial branches of government. I believe that if these members of Congress or the president, for instance, if we could get some health waivers for Barron Trump, we could throw him into the draft and have him go fight in Iran. His dad's so keen to have the war, why not have his son fight? And I know a lot of these members of Congress are really geezerly, old as hell. So we would have to have it be for grandchildren and great-grandchildren too. But how much do you want to bet that if your grandchild, as a member of Congress, was about to be drafted to go fight for Donald Trump's oil war in Iran, you probably would do some stepping up and put a stop to this right now? So, I just need one member of Congress to help me out. Help me pass the Bone Spurs Act and draft Barron Trump today.
Hi all, Lena Ruff here. I want to know why Barron Trump isn't in the military. I want to know why he is not on his way to Iran to fight in that new war. I want to know why the President of the United States can send other people's sons and daughters, but won't send his own. There's no reason Barron Trump couldn't go. He's of age, he's 18 years old, he seems to be physically fit. There's no reason why he couldn't go. I think before you send your country to war, you need to have some actual skin in the game. I think you need to have a child, a brother or sister, or a niece or nephew. That's what I think. Somebody that you are related to, close to, somebody that will be on the front lines, that will be in harm's way. That's what I think needs to happen. I think people would be a lot less likely to talk flippantly about people dying in this war, about lives being lost in this war, if they had to send their own child. Now look, I'm not advocating for him to get hurt. I'm not. But what I'm saying is that this guy is blissfully oblivious to the consequences of what's happening here. He just doesn't want the Epstein files released. He doesn't want the midterms to happen. So instead, he finds something else for people to think about. Well, I think he should have to send somebody of his own bloodline. Barron Trump, you're up.
Not one son or daughter of a billionaire is going to be deployed in Iran. It's going to be the sons and daughters of working families. And if that doesn't you off, then I don't know what to say to you. So let's stay together, let's keep going, and let's fight for a better day.
Donald Trump has taken America to war without authorization, without explanation, without a strategy or an exit plan. 6 brave service members have already given the ultimate sacrifice. Others have been wounded, and Americans are stranded across the region. And what do we hear from our commander-in-chief? He shrugs and says, that's the way it is. And how about that ballroom? The American people do not want their sons and daughters shipped to another war in the Middle East when they don't even know what the mission is. They want a country where their children can do better and reach higher than their parents did, where they don't just survive, but can actually get ahead, where a doctor's appointment is not a luxury. And what are they getting instead? Republicans have been raiding their health care, their Social Security, their veterans benefits, all to enrich the billionaire class, illegal tariffs jacking up prices, secret police murdering Americans in the street, a corrupt DOJ that covers for pedophiles while denying their victims justice.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, Americans, they have really calling out all the politicians to send their sons and daughters to the Iran war. So in today's video, it's a combination of video. It's whereby the Americans ain't sending their daughters and sons to the Iran war. This video is only made for the educational purpose. It's not intended to spread any hate speech. So guys, let's all watch this video until the end, then I come back with more comment.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
You literally started the war. Pete, there is no we didn't start the war. You literally started the war. Pete, you changed your title to Secretary of War because you love war so much. You started the war. Pete, everybody went to bed Friday night. Everybody went to bed Friday night. No war. We woke up Saturday morning to war. Everyone woke up to a war because you started it. At 11 p.m., the president called you, and he knew you'd be awake because you were probably doing Jaeger bombs because you love bombing shit so much like your own liver. And he said, Pete, I need a distraction. Give me a war. And then you grabbed your phone and said, ChatGPT, I need a distraction. Give me a war. And then ChatGPT gave you a war. And then you named it Operation Epic Fury because your brain is a PlayStation 2. You stupid man. You started this war, and you don't even know how to finish it. You're lying to everyone. You're gaslighting people so much. On every way, you're literally gaslighting people. You're literally burning oil fields on the other side of the world. You have no win condition. We're in a biblical holy war now, and we are being run by the fucking Antichrist, Pete. You have no wins. You have no way out. You're a loser millennial who's failed upwards his entire life, and now the entire world is staring at you, and they can see that you are a naked moron. And now you have to hope that we somehow survive. And the best case scenario for you in the name Pete Hegseth is that it is slowly forgotten the same way we've forgotten the names of all those World War I generals. You fucking donkey.
Donald Trump should not have the support of the Australian government for this illegal war. It is not our war. It is not in our name. And we should not be allowing it to occur without condemnation. The deadly blasts and bombs that have already cost the lives of hundreds of innocent civilians. School children, with schools being and hospitals struck. The young, the vulnerable, the sick, carrying the burden of this bloody war only 2 days in. Military action is irresponsible and dangerous at best, when its consequences cannot be controlled in such a volatile region, one of the most volatile in the world. This is wrong. There's a reason that the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has condemned it and has asked for it to stop. Evil thrives and innocent people suffer when good people stay silent, when moral courage crumbles, and when governments who should know better, who do know better, capitulate to the bullies and the tyrants. Australians here and overseas are already impacted, and it's time the Australian government stop cowering to the bullies in the US.
Britain has blocked the United States from using its bases, including RAF Fairfort and Diego Garcia, for strikes on Iran. And it's not just Britain. Saudi Arabia told Washington directly that its airspace and territory are off limits. Qatar, Kuwait, the UAE, and Bahrain have all refused to help Trump strike Iran. These are the countries bordering Iran, the ones with the most to gain from neutralizing Tehran's nuclear program. They are the ones most aggressively saying no to Trump. So last June, Trump's attack on Iran worked because it was a one-night operation with B-2s flying from Missouri. But a sustained months-long campaign against Iran, this requires forward bases for rearming and refueling. And every potential host nation told Trump no. The American military can still strike anywhere on Earth, but the American global network of bases that enables American power is rapidly coming to an end, and Trump and the Republicans are fully to blame. More on Substack at Cultural Perspective.
Good evening. I know it's a little bit late in the hour, but I wanted to go ahead and make this video. Black Americans in the United States, please do not let any of your children join the U.S. military. Once again, this knucklehead has found a way to move people's mindset away from the Epstein files. But I'm going to make it real easy for you. Hey, white Americans, and hey, black Americans, and hey, anybody else, African Americans, and African Americans is those people from Africa who decided to come over and now become Americans. You're African American. And this fundamentally black American, I don't know what the hell, let the fundamentally bullshit go. Because bottom line is, at the end of the day, your peoples was reclassified like mine. Your folks was the original native Indian descendants. We got reclassified. So this fundamentally bullshit, where is that? Just like anytime you got white folks talking about black Americans, they always say African American. And you want to know why? African American has no lineage ties to any land in the United States. If you're a black American and you cannot tie any of your family members to anywhere except here, this is why we can't get deported, and this is why everybody is mad at us. And if they're mad and they don't know history, they don't want to pick up a book, don't want to go to the local library and where they live at, whatever county or state wherever they live at, they don't want to use Google, they don't want to use ChatGPT, they don't want to go to the Library of Congress, then fuck them. That's all I'm going to say, plain and simple, fuck them. If you don't know American history, then shame on you. And I'm not talking about this punk-ass George Washington or anybody else. Thomas Jefferson. We have a history of pedophiles. The dude was 40. Sally Hemings was 14. He running up on her like nobody's business. I think he ended up having 4 to 5 kids with the woman. And I say woman because basically, once you make a girl pregnant, you've already moved her organs and moved her glands into womanhood. And then the thing that tickled me is, stop believing in their bullshit. Stop sacrificing your children for combat. Because at the end of the day, they had opportunities to take over countries, and like the board game Risk, they had the time and the availability to take over countries and take over resources to where the United States would have had more than enough. But every time we go into war, guess what? We destabilize a country, and then you end up having to rebuild it. Destabilize Japan. All the tech came from them. Destabilize Germany. All the good hardware came from them. And there's a lot of medical care notes that they got. But here's the thing that tickles me. Ashkenazi Jews are not tied to Israel. It's the Hebrew Israelites that are. And they look like you and me. But that's not our people. Now, some of it may be. You got people floating out the idea that, if you read the basis of the Bible, it said the people were scattered to the corners of the earth. And everybody is basically marked down lineage. And if you go to the Mississippi, they talk about the Mounds people. Everybody west of the Mississippi is Euro-Asians. They saw our people cross the Bering Strait and was like, well, what the fuck? Where are they going? We got no animals. We got no way to grow any agriculture. Let's follow those black people. All our people, all the black folks, are from the east of the Mississippi River, all the way to the East Coast, all the way as far up as Maine and going into Canada, and all the way as far down as going into Florida and all those little miniature islands on the side of the country. At the end of the day, black Americans are the descendants of the original Native Indians. I've been on the internet and you got people coming out they asshole with this Native American shit. It wasn't America. It wasn't. There was no thing called America. Just like there was no thing called Africa back then. And this is how bad it is in the United States. The American education system is some absolute fucking garbage. Garbage from day fucking one. They say the conquerors write their own history, and that's what they did here. This country wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for black Americans. It wouldn't be shit without the original Native Indians. You can grow corn by itself. You can grow melons by itself. You can grow peppers by itself. But when you grow all four of those fruit and vegetables together, the synergy between the fruit and vegetables and what it does to the soil makes everything grow better. There's not a thing in your household. My hand is made up of 3 black people that made this smartphone. There's not a thing that you can't go to in the United States that a black American has put their hands on. If Trump coming over there with that fucking speech, America's built everything. He making it seem like white people did it. The only white person that really invented something was the dude out in Finland invented 2G. Edison's got 1,093 inventions to his name. 3 of them is his, and they was all fucked up. The other 1,091 were intellectual property rights in his business. He had a lawsuit with the same black gentleman that invented the roller coaster. The gentleman invented the galvanized battery. If you ride in a regular car, your car, that battery inside is a galvanized battery. If your car has park, reverse, neutral, and drive, because your ass don't know how to drive a 5-speed, the black man that invented that, and his shit is worldwide, he should have been the billionaire 1,000 times over, easy, Richard Bowie Spikes. But this is how powerful black people are, and this is why people hating on us. The dude, if you ever sat in a barbershop chair as a man, and the barber was able to swivel the chair around, Richard Bowie Spikes invented that. And any of you white people on here, you looking at me, man, right now, you went into a bar, and the dude pulled the tap to pour you a glass of beer. Richard Bowie Spikes invented and patented that situation. Even the color TV. It wasn't the actual tube that was color. It was the filament that you could put in front of it. And that was invented by a Mexican man in 1956. I think the only white dude that really invented something, and he didn't really understand the process, but he took good notes. And that was the microwave. This engineer was in front of this equipment, and he had a Hershey's chocolate bar in his pocket. And when he turned on the test equipment, the chocolate bar started to melt in his pocket. But truth be told, if you got a microwave in your house, you need to get rid of that thing. Because after the second year, the protective filament in and outside of the microwave starts to deteriorate. And if you're standing in front of it waiting for your microwave popcorn to be popped, you're getting radiated. I'm going to make one more video to attach to this, but thank you for listening.
Australia and Canada, do not join the US-Israel illegal war and sacrifice our sons and daughters for Zionist bankers and billionaires. In doing so, you not only risk accelerating and globalising the war, but you are denying Donald Trump his primary objective in life. He wants that peace prize. And if he wants that peace prize, he knows what to do. Remove all US troops from the Middle East. Their time is done. And take with him the European Zionists that no longer belong. The Jews and Palestinians were able to live side by side in peace before the US and UK created the illegal, what should have been an illegal state of Israel. It was Arab territory, not US and UK territory to give to other people. It's time everyone went home. And the real Jews who want to stay in the state of Palestine should be allowed to do so, which was the intention entirely of the Balfour Declaration 1917. It was for the Jews to be able to find a homeland within Palestine, but actually not to inconvenience the Palestinians in doing so. It didn't say create a separate state. So it should be one state of Palestine, and the Jews who wish to remain in Palestine are perfectly entitled to do so. The Zionists should not be. They need to go back. If anyone should have been required to provide a state for European Jews after the Second World War, it should have been Germany, not the Middle East. Anyway, don't deny Donald Trump the opportunity to get his peace prize by removing all his bases. They will never be returning to those bases, so you may as well admit it now, take them home and let the world live in peace. So take home the Israelis as well. Lots of love, Grandma.
Donald Trump has said we are going to war with Iran. He also said some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So this comes after he pulled out of Obama's nuclear deal, Iranian nuclear deal, which did limit how Iran would build their nuclear programs. Trump said it was too weak and it needs to be stronger. So he just pulled out of that deal. And after he pulled out, Iran said, okay, well, we're just going to go back to what we were doing and we're going to start doing our stuff uranium. And the United States, after pulling out of that deal, tried to do fear-mongering and scare tactics and aggression towards Iran, and it didn't work. So now we are going to war with Iran. But here's what's crazy. Iran said that if the United States starts dropping bombs on them, their hackers will tap into our credit card systems and wipe out everyone's debt and give everybody an 800 credit score. I don't think anyone should be hacking a foreign country. That's wrong. But just hear me out.
So the U.S. asked Norway and Spain to accommodate their military because of the bombs on Baghdad that they started with Israel and Iran. So they're looking for some type of help for their soldiers to keep the military there, to keep it safe. Granted, these are our kinfolk. These are kinfolk that they asking for help for. And Spain and Norway said, no, we don't agree with what y'all did. We will not be accommodating y'all. We will not be helping y'all. Our name is Bennett and we ain't in it. We don't want no parts of it. Now, a part of me should be upset because, again, the troops are our sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, auntie. I have a cousin that was actually not even too far away in Bahrain. So I should be very upset about this. However, I keep telling y'all to get up out this military because Trump don't care about y'all. He getting y'all in shit that y'all can't really back up like that. And now he asking, reaching out to other people that he have treated poorly and talk so much junk about. You reaching out to them, asking them for help, like they gonna help you after you done treated them wrong. I swear, y'all, this is crazy. He literally mistreated people and then gonna turn around and ask them for help as if they was gonna willingly help him. No, don't nobody want to help you. Granted, I'm pretty sure they probably feel bad for the citizens because we don't want to be a part of this. But I understand why they stand there on business, because you will not treat me any old kind of way and then turn around and ask me for help, especially when I don't support the BS that you're doing. No.
Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you have really watched the full clip how these Americans, they are really reacting towards the Iran war. They didn't want to send their sons and daughters towards the war in Iran because they are saying that this war is not meant for them. This war is meant for the Donald Trump, and they are protesting for the politician to send their own sons and daughters to the war because they demanded for the Baron Trump to go to fight for the war. And one thing I want to talk about is about this politician, because these politicians, they are friends. They normally sit down and they're having time and discuss how the reality is there. But when it comes to the war like this, they will not see any politician or a billionaire sons or daughters that is really going to fight for their country. The only person that is really taken to go fight is that is the under people. Those are the lower class people, like the sons and daughters who are really low class, that must be taken maybe to go and fight for the war. So in this war, Americans, they are really coming out, and some of them, they are really calling out for the Maka people to send their own daughters and sons to go and fight for this war. And recently we have seen some of them resign, some of the majority of the US military coming out and resign from the service. And remember, you take an oath to that service, and when you resign, it has maybe the consequence, but they come out and really resign that they can go and fight Iran because they believe that this war is not for the America. They believe that this war is for the Israel. And one of the majority thing that's really happening, even though that son of daughter, he or she signed an oath, but we have the consequences of the war, because number one, he or she may lose her life. And when even you are just a parent and your daughter or a son really lose her life, that is a very, very big loss on your family. You might suffer a lot because of that law, and that's why they are really demanding out for all the politicians to send their daughters to the war. Because one thing I know, that the billionaires, the politicians, they can't really send their daughters to go to the war. They prioritize their other lower class to send their daughters and go to the fight for the law. But this time around, they are telling us that we, the lower class, we are not really going out to send our daughters to the war, that we don't fight for this, because I think that Americans, they are really coming out and they're saying this war is not for them. They are really not fighting for them. And these people, they normally come out with giving the handout to those US military. And you remember, when you just go and fight, you might lose your life. And that's why they are protesting that their daughters remain in safe hands. And that's why they don't want just to go and fight this. So guys, I want you guys to comment in the comment section about this video. I'm your host, Mtesi Reaction. This video is also only made for the educational purposes. It's not intended to spread any hate speech towards any sides. It's just made only for the educational purpose and for the entertainment. I'm your host, Mtesi. If you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe, like, and also comment. Thank you so much for my returning viewers always coming back and watching my video. Bye for now. See you in the next one.